Hey guys, this week I would like to share with you guys on a topic about property valuation. Now a lot of times when we buy property for investment or for own stay, after a number of years you may be asking the question, how much does my property worth, or what is the current value of my property? Now in order to determine the current value or the selling price of your property, there is an official process to go through, and this is called the property valuation process. Now the entire valuation process is conducted by a professional licensed person that is registered under the board, and this board is called as the Board of Valuer, Appraisal, Estate Agent and Property Managers Malaysia, BOVIP, right? Now there are many instances where you will require to go through the property valuation process. Number one is usually when people need extra cash and they will have to go through the refinance process and capitalize on the increment of the property value over the years, alright? And number two, which is more common, is when you buy a sub-sales property and you want to know the value of the property and then ask for assistance in terms of financing from the bank. One thing to take note is that a lot of home buyers today, when they buy first property or second property from the sub-sales market, they always have this misconception that they will be entitled 90% loan based on the selling price or the agreeable price between the buyer and seller. But in reality, that's not the case, because banks will always benchmark 90% loan based on the value of the property that is generated by a registered valuer. So what it means here is that the banks will always be the financial providers, but they do not have the authority in determining the current value of your property. Instead, they need to appoint a registered valuer to come up with a proper written valuation report of your property, and then they benchmark 90% based on that report. So let me just give you an example. Let's say today you have entered into a sales and purchase agreement with the seller, and you guys agreed that the property that you're going to buy is at a value of 600,000. And with that application, you go into the bank and submit the application for a 90% loan, right? So what does the bank do now is that the bank will appoint a registered valuer and come up with the valuation of the property. Now it turns out the value of the property is only 550,000, which means now the bank will benchmark 90% loan based on 550,000 and not based on the SPA agreement 600,000. So the question here is that what do these registered valuers look into when they determine the current value of the property? Now in Malaysia, the registered licensed valuer adopt the sales comparison method, which means they look into the transacted property prices based on the Valuation and Property Services Department, JPPH, alright? But besides looking at the transacted value in the location, they also look into other factors like the quality of the building, maintenance, and so on. So besides looking at transaction value, they also look at four main factors, which is number one, location, number two, accessibility and connectivity, number three is in terms of the maintenance and renovation works, and number four is in terms of the quality of the building construction. Now let's talk about the first main factor, which is the location. Right? This is an obvious factor, and in fact it is one of the main factors that contributes a lot in the valuation process, because different location will have different crowd of population, different quality of crowd, and then different volume of commercial activities, hence different demand of property, and that demand will drive the value of the property. Okay, for example, a property that is located in first tier location, is the pricing of it is definitely different from the property that is located in third tiering like Nilai or Semenye. And then the second factor is in terms of accessibility, connectivity, and also amenities. Alright, that actually boils down to the demand of the property, and people demand property that is more convenient, and hence if a development that is located near to highways, public transportation, and the connectivity from that property to other areas, it's easy, that will definitely help in boosting up the value of the property. Also, in terms of amenities, is that area near to convenience factor like shopping malls, hospitals, schools, and so on. These are all the things that will be part of the consideration factor during the valuation process. Now, the third factor that the valuers will look into is the maintenance and renovation works of the building. Now, let's say you own a property and it is well maintained despite the old age of the building, and also you did some renovation works to enhance the aesthetic value of the building or the outlook of the building. That will definitely also helps in boosting up the value of the property. On the other hand, if it is poorly maintained, for example, it comes with a lot of plumbing issues, water leakage, and it's badly maintained, then it will affect the value of the property. On top of that, the valuers also look at renovation works like the kitchen cabinet, the finishing of the property, the flooring, the paintings, the grill, the gate, and all the details that you have done on that property itself will be taken into consideration. Last but not least is in terms of the quality of the construction works. Now, this one boils down to the developer workmanship. So before you buy the property, you need to look into the developer background, do a bit of due diligence, making sure the construction quality is good, and it also comes down to the quality of the construction materials that they use. Okay, so take note on the quality and the delivery of the past track record before you do a purchase, because that's a part of the consideration in the valuation also in the future. So there you go. There are 4 main factors again that will affect the valuation of the property. Number 1, location. Number 2, accessibility, connectivity, and amenities. Number 3 is the maintenance and renovation works. Number 4 is the construction quality of the construction work. And on top of that, we understand a little bit about how valuation process works. So I hope this short video clip helps, and I will see you again next week. Goodbye.